Good early evening, Big Brother fans. It is me, Mike, aka BB Gossip, and it is Monday, day 49, and it is in the early evening. It is, well, late afternoon, some would say, I guess. It's about 5:40 p.m. on Monday, Big Brother time, 8:40-ish p.m. out here in the east, or at least in Indiana where I am at. And I am driving home late, went out to dinner with family, and thought I would take the opportunity to catch you up on what happened today in the Power Veto meeting. Now, what this means is probably tomorrow I won't have a whole lot to say because my sense is the mood in the house, I'll jinx it right here, the mood in the house seems quiet. So I'm guessing not a whole lot's going to happen tonight. Watch me be wrong, which will be good for you because you'll get more information tomorrow. But for today, tonight, I thought I would fill you in on the Power of Veto meeting results and the aftermath, as it were, of that, or actually a little bit of what I missed in this morning's podcast because I should have included. So the thing that I forgot to include in this morning's podcast was it's a bit of a circular leak here. I don't think I talked about this. So one of the things that happened yesterday was, and you have to stay with me on this, all right, because it gets a little bit complicated. Vinny was talking to Vinny was talking to Rachel. And in the conversation, he mentioned that Keanu had talked about going after Rachel. So Rachel then, this is in the head of household room, Rachel then very quickly is having a conversation with Keanu in the gym right next door, and she tells Keanu, I hear you were going after me. And I'm paraphrasing, this isn't exactly, this is enough to get the gist of it because the particular information being shared isn't as important as who's sharing the information. So Rachel kind of calls Keanu out on it. I think he denied it. They went around, they talked for a bit. But what then next happened is Keanu comes back to Vincent and says, hey, Rachel told me that you told her about something I said. Which for Vincent was a little bit of a light bulb above his head. Like, wait a minute. I shared some information with Rachel that shouldn't have left her lips, and she went directly to the source and accused him, a.k.a. Keanu. So Vincent's like, how can I trust Rachel if she's doing that? How in the world can I ever trust Rachel? So that happened. That was kind of a moment that's like, uh-oh, Rachel has just dug herself in a hole. She may very well get put up with the Power of Veto on Monday. Later, much later in the evening, I believe it was Vincent talked about this incident with Ashley and maybe with Morgan, I think, maybe when they were doing the M&M thing, because they did an M&M thing. But Vincent shared it with them as a reason that he can't trust Rachel, who was a member of the judges, right? It's like, well, I'm supposed to trust Rachel, but I gave her something in confidence, and she turned right around and shared it with Keanu, who's supposed to be on the other side. Why is she doing that? Why is she, revealing my information? And so that put Rachel into damage control mode. It also, Vincent shared it with Ashley and Morgan. Ashley, in turn, went back to Rachel and said, Rachel, you can't do this. What are you doing leaking information? Keanu went right back to Vincent and told Vincent. So now Vincent knows. She said that's an amateur move. How could you even do that? She scolded Rachel. And Rachel took it well. Kind of like, oh, silly me, what am I doing? I'm never going to trust him again. And Rachel's probably kicking herself, but she's also very thankful that Ashley told her about this, because this could have been big problems for Rachel. And in the end, spoiler alert, it doesn't end up being big problems for Rachel. But Rachel got the news back that Vincent was not trusting her. So she did some damage control. I don't know if she did anything last night, but she did it this morning. And so when they got up this morning, oh, by the way, I already mentioned it in my podcast this morning. about how Mickey and Keanu were both trying to get in to talk with Vincent up until, I'm not sure what time it was, 4, maybe not quite 5 in the morning. They were, Vincent was, or Keanu was waiting for Mickey to leave so he could go in and talk, and he ran in, jumped into bed with Vincent, which Vincent does not like. Vincent is not happy with Keanu. He's like, he's got dirty feet. He's, whatever he wants to say. It's like, stay out of my bed. It's something that bothers Vincent. So if you're ever on the Big Brother, think about people's spaces and what they may or may not like and figure it out. Keanu has never been one to be able to read the room. He doesn't understand this stuff. He doesn't think about this stuff. I thought it would be his undoing much earlier, but he's managed to navigate through those shortcomings, and he is still in the house. So, Rachel, after the late night, that was the Vinny and the Vinny with Mickey and Keanu. That happened up until roughly 5 a.m. A little bit earlier than that, but then finally Keanu went to bed. And of course, Big Brother got them up at 9 a.m. So at most, Vincent is working on 4 to maybe, 5 to 9. No, less than 4 hours of sleep, probably, Vincent is working on. So Vincent has had 3 nights in a row of being up very late, and Big Brother getting them up relatively early. There's doing some serious sleep deprivation here for Vinny. So he had conversations with people, and the very last conversation that he was having was with Rachel before the feeds went down. The feeds went down rather quick, and a lot of us suspect that it looked like Rachel might have been winning the argument to put Catherine up instead of her, and so Big Brother put an end to things before anybody else could talk him out of that move. That was our suspicion. That was my suspicion. It's like, oh, looks like Vinny's being swayed, and they cut the feeds while Rachel was still talking to Vinny. So the feeds came back from the Power of Veto downtime, and guess what? Vinny did put Catherine back up, or put Catherine up, and so Rachel came off. Rachel wasn't on the block. Sorry. Mickey took herself off the block, and Vincent put up Catherine. And I'm thinking right now, is that right in thinking that now Rachel is the only person to not have been on the block? I don't remember. Did Rachel go on the block? I can't remember. But I know they said there was only 2 people that had never been on the block. And I'm pretty sure one of them was Catherine. And now Catherine's been on the block. So I'm thinking maybe Rachel's never seen the block yet. Interesting. Yeah. That should tell you something. And I will say this again. I have probably said it on here. I know I have posted it several times on Blue Sky. Everybody keeps saying they're going to take a shot. I almost posted Hamilton. I'm not going to miss. I'm not ready, or I'm not going to miss my shot. Right? That's the song. Anyways, no one wants to take the shot at Rachel. They all talk about it needs to be taken. Somebody needs to make a move on Rachel. Somebody needs to do it. But I'm telling you, and I have posted it several times, and I've probably said it already, but I'm going to say it again. Nobody wants to take the shot at Rachel. Nobody is willing to take the shot. Everybody wants someone else to take the shot. They all say whoever takes the shot and gets Rachel out, that is a huge thing on your resume, right? This is a thing that the young kids, you young kids out there, you game theory, you game masters, you whatever you want to call it. One of the big things in Survivor and in Big Brother and on Sequester, was when I was playing Sequester, is you have a close ally and then you get rid of your closest ally. And that's a resume builder because you were willing to take out your closest ally. Another resume builder is to take out the biggest target. However, if someone is, and this is what I called it, I said the giant killer. If you are the giant killer, well, everybody else is not the giant killer. So what's the next best thing? Kill the giant killer. And I think that subconsciously or not, most of these house guests are hoping someone else tries to take out or takes out Rachel, manages to nominate her, get her taken out, and then their plan is to get that person out. So Rachel's gone, and she's not going to hold any grudges against them because they aren't the ones that got that person, that got Rachel out. However, they took out the person that took out Rachel, which should possibly make Rachel happy, and you'll have Rachel's vote if she makes jury, right? There's multiple reasons to not piss off or take out Rachel, and those are all in the back of the minds of every one of these freaking house guests. Some of them, it's for just the pure power move of it, the poor potential jury vote of it. Some of them, like I'm going to name Keanu as one, but there's others in this house that have aspirations on doing something social media or whatever. There's all of them thinking at some point, ooh, I could do something. And guess what Rachel does? She's a casting agent, right? She's involved in the industry. And do I really want to piss off the person who could help make my career? Specifically Keanu in this case, right? But there's others too. They're all thinking it. And I'm sorry, I really, really strongly think that their thoughts are, I don't want to make her mad, so I'm not going to be the one to take her out. And they're hoping somebody else does it. And then when they do, they'll take that person out and they'll be in her good graces. That's my hypothesis. It could be wrong. I think I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again. As long as Rachel's still in the house, I'll keep saying it. It's driving me crazy because it's like you put one super strong, powerful, well-known personality in the house, and they can say they don't have an advantage, and they don't have they're at a huge disadvantage, and in some ways they are, if you have somebody reckless enough willing to take a shot, and you do, but those people haven't one head of household, so they can't make the move, right? So, where am I at? So Kelly, not Kelly. Kelly's on the block now, right? We'll go with that. That's why we're going to say Kelly. So, the power veto meeting, we now have Mickey safe, and Catherine's on the block. Catherine is on the block next to Ava and Kelly. And so Kelly seems to be the biggest target when you talk about that combination. Will the House decide to go after Kelly, or will Catherine get, taken out from underneath them? Is Kelly going to win the battle of the block? Because did I say that right? The battle of the block? No, the blockbuster. Dang it, did it again. The blockbuster competition, is Kelly going to win it? That's the big thing. And this is what I tweeted. I posted out the odds right now, as of this afternoon, and I would still say it still holds, is that if Kelly is still on the block after the blockbuster, the Battle of the Block competition, then she's likely to get voted out. Otherwise, Catherine. Ava is probably the most safe. Now, we've said that before, and it's ended up being wrong. But at this point, I think Ava is the most safe. And we'll just have to wait and see. And Kelly is definitely in major danger. She's with the stuff that went on last night with Winegate. I would say that Rachel has a laser focus on trying to get rid of Kelly. I don't think she has enough trust in Kelly to think, oh, I could save her and turn her to my side by orchestrating saving her, and she'll be loyal to me. I don't think Kelly's ever going to be loyal to Rachel. She's kind of burnt that bridge in some ways last night, if not before, with the whole Winegate thing. And by the way, it's almost 9 o'clock Eastern time. And again, unless something major is going on in the house, my plan tonight is to gather all the different video clips, or go get some more personally, of the whole Winegate incident. There's a bunch of different steps that took place, and I want to chronicle it all and post it for people to kind of go through and watch it for themselves. They may show it on Wednesday night show, but you never know, and they won't have a whole lot of time, so it depends how much time they devote to it, and it depends on what the story they want to weave. My intent is to show you all of the pertinent facts for both sides, for all parts of the story, right? There's a part which I didn't see until today when I went back looking for where the clips were, where there's a clip and there's a point which I saw Will telling Ava about part of Winegate, explaining it to her because she wasn't around when it happened. And Ava was like, oh, I guess I caused it, because Ava was the one that kind of did part of the reason that the whole thing started. Not intentionally. But also at the same time, and this is part of the conversation I missed, but I have a link to a clip, or at least I have a time to go find. Ava said, you know, when Rachel was pouring the wine, it was a bit, I don't know if she said suspicious or whatever she said. She made it sound like maybe Kelly wasn't completely off when Kelly said it was, kind of the way Rachel was doing it was kind of because she was annoyed with Vincent. And I've been told potentially that maybe I was wrong about the reason, that it wasn't Rachel was being rude when she poured the wine. It may have been more that Rachel was she was annoyed with Vinny because of everything Vinny was saying, or because everyone was kissing up to Vinny, I guess was what some people think. So she was annoyed with everybody kind of kissing up to Vinny during this affirmation thing that Ava started. So I'm going to go back and watch at least part of the affirmations. I know at least part of them were shown. I don't know if the moment when Rachel poured the wine was shown, but if it wasn't, I'll just note that and move on. But I have the timestamps. I'm going to go look for all this stuff and put it all together in probably one long thread on Blue Sky for people to go back and watch. So that's my intent to do later this evening. And that is the end. That is my long recap of what happened partly last night and partly this afternoon. I know I've missed chunks of this afternoon, and I'll fill you guys in on that stuff tomorrow morning probably when I do my next CarCast. But this one went 17 minutes, so hopefully it was interesting and I didn't repeat myself too much. But with that, I am going to sign off. Wish you a happy Monday evening. Take care, everybody. Be well. Thank you to all of my supporters. Thank you especially to my patrons. You know who you are. I'm going to record a video podcast for you guys maybe tomorrow. I almost was going to do it today, but things were a bit crazy, so I may do one tomorrow. But we'll do one for that, and I'm thinking of potentially having something else for my patrons only that I've been working on. We'll see if I get that put together. It's just niggling at the back of my brain, so sorry to tease something that may never come to fruition. But it's there. I'm thinking about it. Okay, that's it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
This Labor Day at Lowe's, shop member-only doorbuster deals for a limited time. Save $50 on an Ego string trimmer, now $169. Plus, get 50% off select Holland pavers. Not a rewards member? Sign up for free today. But hurry, Labor Day doorbuster deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/1 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.